Yeah, thanks, Jim, and congratulations to you and Tom. This is a great event. It's great to be a part of the series of panels and be with my colleagues. What I want to talk about is our information interoperability mission. If you do information interoperability right, you can save money, you can improve security and privacy, you can reduce risk, and really increase mission agility. We come out of the terrorism, homeland security, information sparing space, whole of government, but to make this work, we really got to work with the IT industry. So I want to talk about the problem that we're solving, which is how to better collaborate between the government and the IT industry and standards organizations. So we stood up a standards coordinating council underneath the governance, the White House governance I co-chair. This standards coordinating council is getting a lot of traction. It's been operating now for about 2 years. It includes ACT-IAC, IGIS, FCA, AFEI as industry organizations. As standards organizations, it includes the Object Management Group, Open Geospatial Consortium, and OASIS. We've been using the Standards Coordinating Council to provide a forum to coordinate our standards agenda and some examples of some of the successes we've been driving through this activity with our partners at DHS, DOJ, DOD, and elsewhere, and our state and local partners. We worked on aligning our core standards framework, the National Information Exchange Model, with UML. So now NEAM is available as a UML profile, mainstream approach. We also partnered, again, with our standards colleagues, federal government, with the Open Geospatial Consortium to drive something called Geo for NEAM. Better aligning geospatial information sharing standards with the NEAM and other interoperability frameworks, critical for further adoption in the, with, for example, the Department of Defense and
Sure.
other folks.
Sure.
Identity management frameworks, folks were talking about that earlier, critical to get traction on identity management. We use the Standards Coordinating Council with the NSTIC, National Strategy for Trusted Identities in Cyberspace, NSTIC PMO, to host a summit at the White House of all the NSTIC grantees and different federal program managers to help accelerate the identity ecosystem work that they're driving. Just a few examples of where we're trying to drive a strategic agenda around standards. One last thing I'd highlight is the use of standards in acquisition, standards-based acquisition, sort of like strategic sourcing for mission IT. The leading example of this is the FBI's index. 8,000 police departments sharing records management information, things like suspicious activity reporting. Most recently, prescription drug diversion, #1 problem in this country, drug problem from a dollar value perspective. Folks use these frameworks to be able to standardize how prescription drug information is shared between the public health community, the public safety community. Those standards were certified through an industry-based process. The first vendors to go through that process were health IT vendors. So it's really kind of getting to be pretty broad-based in terms of use of these frameworks. It's great to see that collaboration between the government and the industry through the Standards Coordinating Council.
Terrific. And I know, Kshemendra, we're real proud today to be donating some proceeds we got from this event, all the proceeds to the Wounded Warrior Program. And I know you mentioned to me that the DNI, you guys are doing something yourself. Would you care to maybe make a quick mention of that before we get ready to go to our reception here today?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. We have a Wounded Warrior program in our office. My Chief of Staff, Nick Harris, runs it with volunteer staff in the office. We've had exactly 7 people through the program, Wounded Warriors. The goal of the program is to familiarize these, our Wounded Warriors, proud veterans, with corporate settings and to be able to get them, help use our extensive network of contacts across the federal government and elsewhere to help them transition from service and through the healing process into industry. It's been great to see that, great to be able to support our veterans that way. The program we've put in place has been identified in ODNI as a best practice and is being expanded now across all of ODNI.
Good. And some lessons learned from both the work and the program?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're working at the heart of the terrorism-related information sharing space, really critical national security issues. But what we found is embracing open government techniques, transparency, participation, collaboration. It's as much about making government more effective as it is dealing with and sharing our information just in general with the citizenry. Right. So The transparency that we bring to our efforts really does accelerate them. The whole of government approach is bringing in state and local governments through things like the National Network of Fusion Centers. And we've actually done the hard work to embed state and local stakeholders into our White House-based governance.
Right.
So